I got it all set up. Everything is good. Let's work from the bottom up, all right, in terms of like what my favorite masks are. So let's do my least favorite masks first, all right? So I mean, remember, this is just my opinion, but it's gonna some people here are gonna disagree with me on some of these, I'm sure. Um maybe I actually don't know a lot of other people's opinions on these though. So like here's an interesting one, all right? In D tier at the very bottom, I'm going to put Couples Mask as the first one in D tier. All right, and the reasoning for that one, first of all, doesn't even have any eye holes, not an effective mask, all right? Pretty trash. All right, doesn't do anything in game, so aesthetically it's low tier. Gameplay wise, it's low tier. All right, like functionally it's low tier because it has no eye holes. It's not even that interesting. I can't even tell what the design on the mask is. Like, what is it supposed to be? Like, is it supposed to be like a flower? Is it? I don't know what it's supposed to be. I think it might be. I've never looked at it closely. It's never that interesting. It doesn't show up well. Like, why? I don't know. I don't know. So that one's, it signifies I mean, it comes at the end of a really, really good side quest. So there's that, but like, I don't know. The side quest itself is high tier, but the mask itself, it doesn't, it's not important, all right, to the side quest and the side story as a whole. So it goes low tier. It's D tier, all right? All right. And then Matt's going to be upset with me for this one. But I'm putting the Camaro mask in D tier too. All right. This one of my least favorite masks. Now, the action you get from it, the B button, dude, right? I'm out of my mind. What? Dang. I didn't realize this one would be so controversial. I mean, I hate wearing it. It's the creep. It's really, really creepy when you wear it, but the dance is good. All right. Maybe I can be swayed on this one. I'm not putting it too much higher though. All right, you might be able to sway me on this one, right? Because like functionally, it's aesthetically I do not like it. All right, the way it looks on Link's head. In fact, let's go back over to really, really quick. All right, and just put on like look at Link wear this thing. All right, look at like it's the most awful looking thing I've ever seen here. Let's get in here. All right. It just looks, look at Link's face. It's so creepy, man. So I mean, maybe I'll move it up, right? Maybe I can be persuaded to move it up one tier. Like the dance is good. The dance is good. All right. But the way it looks on Link's head, here, we'll move it up to C, but it is not going any higher than C. It's not going any higher than C. I'm not a fan. I'll put it in C. All right, we'll move it. Okay. And then another one that's going in D, all right, is this one. I'm putting the Mask of Sense in D, all right? This one, it makes Link do, like, the hunched over sniffing animation constantly whenever you're standing still. Ugly as heck. Not useful. Literally doesn't even get you a heart piece. All right, all the Mask of Sense is good for is getting Magic Mushroom. And all Magic Mushroom does is freaking get you a blue potion earlier in the game, which isn't even that useful of an item. All right, you can get it later without the Mask of Sense. So it's actually, like, utility-wise, it's one of the least useful masks in the game. It's one of the most ugly masks in the game. It makes Link do a horrible animation. This one you cannot convince me to put any higher. This one, yeah, I don't like the oinking. I don't like this mask. I don't like this mask. Yeah, it's tough. So yeah, that one for me, maybe that one's a little bit less controversial than the Camaro mask. All right, but Mask of Sense I do not like. All right, and now let's go up to C tier. All right, so you may be surprised, all right, because I'm gonna put this one first in C tier. All right, is Circus Leader Mask. Now this one is literally the most useless mask in the game. All right, but to me this one has like. This one relates to its quest more. It's like side quest and its Bomber's Notebook thing. It relates to that more. I actually really like the design. It's not like straight up ugly. like the other masks, a lot of other masks are. It's not useful whatsoever. But I really like some of the touches with this mask in the game, right? Whenever you put it on, it's constantly crying, which isn't that. I mean, I don't like it for that necessarily. But what makes this mask a C instead of a D, despite how useless it is when you put it on during the Cremia ride. Like the side quest where you have to defend Cremia's cart while she's delivering milk to Clocktown. If you have this mask on, the two Gorman brothers will not attack you. And to me, that's like such a small detail. To me, that actually like says something about them, and that it makes me like care about this mask more, even if it's functionally one of the actually the least useful mask in the game, right? So I enjoy it for that. And it's not an ugly mask. It's not an ugly mask in my opinion either. It's not. Well, okay, Frodo man, the problem with that is with the circus leader mask, when you put it you can only get it after doing the cart ride. So you have to go and do the cart ride a second time and then you can have circus leader mask. All right? So it's not. Again, it's the most functionally useless mask in the game because the only thing it does anything for, you have to have already done in order to get it. But to me, that's really cool. To me, that like whole side quest with the circus leader mask is really, really cool. All right. Next. Which one are we putting in C also? Oh, man, here's the first transformation mask, guys. It's going in C. Let's see. I'm putting the Deku mask in C. So hear me out on this one, all right? As far as the three transformation masks are concerned, it is my least favorite. All right, it is it's fun. It's fun to control, but less so than the other two. And I liked the story with the Deku Butler and like the Deku mask probably being his son. But Deku is not my favorite race in Zelda. All right. And the Deku mask is like in speedruns, it's the least useful. It's like compared to the other two transformation masks, it's the least fun to control. So all around, it goes lower on the tier list. Right? It's like probably like if we were to order them in the tiers, all right, it would probably be high C tier, right? Like we would put it in high C tier. All right, it's not low C tier. It's not anywhere near D. All right, if I could, it would be in between B and C. But we're going to call Deku Mask high C, all right? High C. I'm sorry, Corvus. All right, it's high C. High C, low B, all right, for Deku Mask. I'm keeping it in C. I could maybe be swayed to put it in B, but it would be low B. All right, it's on the edge. It's on the edge. Okay, other ones that go in C tier. All right, Cafe Mask. All right. This one, not a huge fan of it either. All right, design-wise, it's off-putting. All right, it's the uncanny valley is the term. It's off-putting. The story surrounding it. Apparently, Anju has one of these too. Canonically, she just has a cafe mask. Kind of weird. So, the context surrounding the mask and why it exists is kind of strange. Not the most useful mask. It's implemented a bit more than some of the other masks in the game, right? Because you can use it talking to a lot of NPCs in Clocktown to get different responses, but it's only actually useful like once. And I don't know, man. The voids for the eyes, just the black voids for the eyes, also adds to the off-putting vibe. So, Cafe Mask pretty low. No Runner, I can't say I've ever done that before. Little bit creepy, maybe totally normal in Clocktown, but that's not feeling it so much. Not feeling it so much. All right. More in C tier. All right, next. I think next I'm gonna put in Giant Mask. All right, and this one, the design isn't anything special. All right. It doesn't remind me of anything. It's not particularly cool. And the big problem with Giant's Mask is you can only put it on in one room in the game. Right? It's otherwise useless. If you could put it on more often, or if it was more useful, maybe it would be higher. Because the effect is cool, but because it's so limited, we're gonna keep it fairly low, I'd say. Yeah, wait, yeah, Giant's Mask doesn't even make you giant. It actually just makes Twin Mold smaller. Alright, so actually, yeah, wait, Giant's Mask doesn't even do what it says it's gonna do, alright? It's a trick. Alright, anyone who doesn't know, Giant's Mask does not make you one bit bigger. Instead, it teleports you to a smaller arena with smaller Twin Molds, changes the camera angle to be lower so that you look bigger, and lowers your movement speed. It does all of that instead of making you bigger. It does not make you the slightest bit bigger. So, pretty underwhelming mask overall. Alright. Do I have any more in C tier? That might be it for C tier. I mean, this one probably has to go here. I'm gonna put the last one in C tier. I think is going to be Don Garo Mask. I'm putting Don Garo Mask in C tier. Don't really enjoy the design too much. It would probably be on the higher end of C tier as well, though. I wouldn't put it on the lower end of C tier. It is a frog, but it's not my favorite design. It's not as cute as Trevise. It can't compete. All right, look at it. All right, is this anywhere as cute as Trevise? I don't. This list is wrong. Boo. I'm trying here. But yeah, I don't know. Don Garo Mask never stood out to me. Only good, like, get you a heart piece. The song is good, I guess. Like, when you get them singing at the end, and I don't know. It doesn't look good on Link's face either, I would say. I don't think it looks particularly good on him either. Alright, next is B tier. Alright, I think that's it for C tier. So, B tier is weird. B tier is like, they're not particularly bad, but they don't stand out either if they're in B tier. They're kind of just average. They don't evoke particularly positive or negative feelings. They're just kind of in the game, I guess. So, first one in B tier, I'm going to put Mask of Truth. I like the design of Gossip Stones. I like the design of Mask of Truth, but it doesn't do anything particularly special. Not very functional as a mask, alright? It only has one eye hole, alright? And it's just, you know, like, I never think of it that much. Like, for me, the biggest thing about Mask of Truth is its design, the aesthetics, alright? And, like, otherwise, it's underwhelming. So, it can go in B tier, I'd say. Alright, another one that goes in B tier, Captain's Hat. Kind of a cool design, pretty useless as a mask. The most notable thing about Captain's Hat that makes me think of the mask is when you wear it in the Egos fight in Akana Castle and you get that extra cutscene. That's like the coolest thing about Captain's Hat. But otherwise, it's not my favorite design, like visually, and it doesn't do that much. So to me, it's underwhelming. Besides that cutscene, so it goes in B. All right, what else goes in B? Great Fairy Mask. Don't particularly like the designs of the Great Fairies. Don't particularly hate them either. It's literally just the Great Fairy's face. It's a little bit creepy, but not super creepy. It's a little bit creepy, though. It's middling for me. I wouldn't put it much higher. Okay, so for the icons for these, I use the MM3D icons as long as it stayed true to the original, just because it was a higher resolution. But if there was big changes between the N64 and the MM3D design, I went with the N64 one. So I ended up using the N64 one for, say, the Gibdo mask, because they actually changed the design of the Gibdo mask quite a bit in MM3D. So there is that. And Gibdo mask does go in B. Again, most of my feelings for the Gibdo mask are associated with the side quest relating to it, and like the father and Pamela. It's less about the masks and more about the side quest. So it does evoke like feelings from that, but like it's I don't know. That's about it. It's like not particularly bad. It has more in-game use than most of the masks in the game. Gibdo mask is one of the only masks in the game required to beat it glitchlessly, right? So I mean there is that. Yeah, technically it's not even a side quest. Getting Gibdo mask is one of the few masks that's actually required to beat the game if you're playing without glitches. So there is that. But otherwise, pretty underwhelming mask. Otherwise, what else goes in B? Garo mask. Garo mask is kind of cool. Not particularly useful. It does a couple things in the game. It lets you get into Kana, so it is required to beat the game. It does also summon... The coolest thing about Garo mask, actually, that you never get to see in, like, a speedrun setting, is that it summons the Garo ninjas in Ikana, and they give you, like, hints. And, like, in a casual playthrough, I thought that was sick. Like, I loved Garo mask in my casual playthrough, but other than that, not my favorite. Deku is B at worst, high C. That's what we said. We said very high C or low B is where I put it, Gigo. All right, I think we're wrapping up B. All right, we're through more than half the masks now. But to wrap up B, all right, here's one that's gonna be controversial. It's pretty, dude, runner guy. All right, you do it once in a speed run. I mean, talking to the animals with Mask of Truth, kind of cool, but like, I don't know, man. It's not my. I don't know. It is high B for me though. I'm trying. Like, they're not necessarily ordered within each tier, but Mask of Truth is like within B tier. It's probably one of my. Like, if I were to order these within the tier, I would probably do something like this. Like, this would be, like, ordered within B. But, also going in B is... It's Fairest Deity. Really good design. Unfortunately, reuses Adult Link's model from, OT. Reuses his sound effects, so it doesn't even have unique stuff specific to it. All right, it's just reusing stuff. They didn't make anything like unique for it. The mask itself is really, really cool, but it is restricted to only the boss rooms throughout the game. And because it is restricted, I had to put points against it. I had to knock it down. I couldn't put it super high because it's so restricted in usage. Now you can use glitches to get it everywhere, but really, all right, if you're getting every mask in the game and basically 100%ing the game, you should be able to use it anywhere, all right? You're worried for my safety? All right. MM may reuse a lot of stuff from OOT, but I mean, come on. All right, the only thing the coolest thing about Fierce Deity, and like, again, like the reason it's higher than Giant's Mask, which is similarly restricted throughout the game, is you can use it in a couple more places. You can use glitches to use it anywhere, and the double helix sword is really cool. The double helix sword is really cool. I don't know. It's also high B, but maybe low A. Could I be convinced to move it to A? Did I think this through enough? Was I too hasty? If it goes in A, it's low A, man. I'll put it in A, but it is low A. Dude, the energy beams don't even work properly. The double helix sword is really cool. Okay. All right. You know what? When I put it in B, I wasn't thinking about the sword. The sword is really good. The sword is good. I like Fierce Deity's sword. So I'll put it in low A. All right. I forgot about the sword. Wasn't thinking about it. I'm willing to move on this. All right. A tier. All right. First one I'm putting in A tier is Bunnyhood. All right. I had this one I thought about for a while, actually. I had to think about this one ahead of time. All right. Where am I going to put Bunny? Bunnyhood, very, very cute. All right, when you do a Hess with the Bunnyhood, one of the cutest things in the game. All right, technically not the most useful mask in the game. All right, slower than Goron Mask. In speedruns, generally not useful. All right, honestly, one of the lowest tier masks in terms of usefulness in the game. But it's really cute, and I kind of like it. It's mostly here for aesthetics. It's mostly here for just how it looks when Link's wearing it. I like to make fun of the bunny hood a lot, but I actually do like it. I do like it. I like the design. I do. All right. Bremen mask is going in A? Or is it going in A? Wait a minute. Was I too hasty? No. We're gonna come back to that one. I have to think about that one more. Give me some time on that one, actually. I kind of like Bremen mask. Give me a sec here. In A, I am gonna put All Might mask though. Not actually. This one's weird for me. Is for the reason it's in A. I really actually cannot put to words why I like it. I kind of like it. All right, it's a torture device, really. It's barely a mask as much of a torture device, but kind of like it. I really don't know what else to say about it. To me, it's actually not that creepy. I kind of like the red eyes. The design's kind of cool. Not that useful in the game. I could use one of these, right? If I had an All Might mask and I could stay up all night, do you think of all the work I could get done? I'd never be stressed about schoolwork again. But, yeah, it goes in A. I don't know well. See, I'm putting it's low A though. It's not my favorite. Like I like Bunny Hood definitely goes higher than All Might mask. All right. What else goes in A? Romani mask. I'm putting in A. All right, higher A. All right. Cow mask looks really good when Link's wearing it. One of my favorites actually. I am a fan. All right. So it's in higher A. All right. It's not the most useful mask either in the game, all right? It gets you into the milk bar, it gets you the circus leader mask, and it lets you buy Chateau. So it is useful, especially in a casual playthrough. I think it's a cool reward. Also, it's just like the idea of like people like wearing this mask to get into the milk bar is like the funniest thing to me. Because of how silly it looks. It is more of a hood than a mask. I do like the Romani mask though. One of my favorite designs. All right, cow mask. Cow mask is a good idea. All right, cow mask all around good idea. A cow is an A. Absolutely, dude. Nothing wrong with that. All right, nothing wrong with that. Cow mask goes in A. All right, next transformation mask. All right. Now I'm gonna put the Zora mask in A, and you may notice this is the MM3D design for the Zora mask. All right. There's a reason for that, and we'll get to that. All right, but like Zora mask, definitely my favorite transformation mask in the game. It's not the most useful one though, which is why it's gonna be ultimately lower than the Goron mask, as you can probably assume by this point. But Zora is actually one of my favorite races in all of Zelda. So already, like visually for me, it's one of the coolest masks. It's one of the most useful masks, obviously, because it is a transformation mask. I'm not marking it down. Am I marking it down for English swimming? I mean, if we were to mark Zora mask down for English swimming, it would probably go here, right? Like if we were including like the English version of the game swimming, I think this would be the most appropriate place for Zora. So you're lucky I'm discounting it, honestly. Right? We're not including that. All right? We're talking about the optimal version of the game, the Japanese version here. All right, we are. In the English version of the game, the swimming is they changed how it controls and when you first start swimming, and I don't like it. I'm not a fan. Not really a fan of English swimming. No, Ragan, I don't like it. All right. So now, the last A tier. I think we're going to do one more A tier. All right, and the last A tier mask is going to be Blast Mask. All right, one of the coolest masks in the game. All right, it's got that risk-reward element to it. All right, you can blow yourself up with it. I liked the design. It's not overly complicated. All right, here, less is more. All right, to me, it's extremely visually appealing. It's one of the most fun masks to use in the game. To me, I love using Blast Mask. I love doing bomb tricks with it. I love hovering with it. I wish I could Hess with it, but it's a little hard. it made MM low percent by itself, all right? This mask is entirely responsible for just an entire category in Majora's Mask for years. But you can go so fast, Rudder Guy. You can go so fast with the Goron, man. Dude, all right, we're the criteria, all right, for the mask. It's like visuals, like it's like, you know, utility, how much fun it is to use. Like we're trying to take into account the whole package here, right? With each of these masks, we are. But Blast Mask is entirely responsible for one of the coolest categories in Majora's Mask, all right? And that alone puts it pretty high. All right. So S tier, all right. The highest masks in the game. Highest tier masks in the game. Right? My favorites out of everything. All right? So this one, I'm going to do it first because it's pretty obvious, all right? I am biased. All right? You may have noticed the sub badge is a Keaton mask. I may be a fan of the Keaton mask. It is my favorite design. I love it. It's, again, less is more. It's an extremely simple design, but it is so freaking cute, all right? You cannot convince me to put it any lower despite how little use it has in the game. Might be a little bit biased, though, but it is, it's very cute. It's very cute. All right, and I did change my mind on Bremen. I'm putting it in S. Again, I do really like the design on this one. All right, the dance, or like the march you do with the action for this mask, really good, really cute. All right, and then the little side quest like mini game thing with the Cuccos at Romani Ranch, really good. All around, like everything involving this ranch, or everything involving this mask is it's really good.
Hop, yo,
yo, Lexi, thank you so much for the 9-month sub. Appreciate it very much. All right, next S tier mask. Boo's gonna be happy about this one. Postman hat. All right, not even a mask. Again, maybe the S tier is showing my bias a little. All right, it's visually one of my favorites. The Postman. All right, very memeable character. One of my favorite characters in Majora's Mask in general. All right, like following him around Clocktown. Was I remember when I was a kid, actually, I would follow him around Clocktown just to see what he did. But it's just one of my favorite designs, worn by one of my favorite characters. All around, really good mask. Stalker. True. Dude, yeah, you gotta respect the Postman's drive, all right? You gotta respect his drive, all right? He works hard. He's one of the hardest working characters in the game. All right. Even when he knows that the moon is going to crash into Clocktown, all right, he will not leave, all right, unless you get the go-to from his boss. All right, you have to, how can you not feel for the man? All right, and his mask, very good. Very good. All right. Two more. There are two more masks, all right? Next in S tier is the Goron mask, all right? You knew it was coming. The only transformation mask not here. All right, Goron's definitely a higher tier race for me than Deku. I like them more than the Deku. Alright, one of the most fun masks to use in Zelda. Like, in Majora's Mask in general. Alright, one of the most fun items to use in Zelda. Alright, there are so few items on the level of Goron Mask in terms of gameplay usage and how much fun it is to control. Alright, and, dude, I really should have just put a picture of Trev Roll here. Alright, Trev Roll... Thank you for posting the Trev rolls in the chat, right? Because that speaks for itself, right? Goron is so memeable too, with like the oh when he's falling, and then the face he makes when he's curled up, dude. I love the Goron mask. I do. I like, even though overall I like Zora's as a race, Goron mask is way too much fun. It's the best item, one of the best items in all of Zelda that you're ever given. All right. So, definitely an S tier mask. Not higher than the Keaton. I think the Keaton mask is overall going to be the best one. But the final mask is the Stone mask. And this one maybe a little bit odd. I am using the N64 model for the stone mask, because for the MM3D version, they made it gray instead of purple. All right, it doesn't look as cool. It doesn't look nearly as cool. But stone mask for me, again, another really simple but effective design. To me, it looks cool. All right, to me, the stone mask looks really, really cool. Definitely a mask that was very, very useful to like almost everyone on their first playthrough if they knew about it or had heard about it, or like even like people replaying the game, like when they're doing like casual playthroughs. Super, super nice mask. It is actually useful in speedruns nowadays in some cases. All right, we do use it sometimes. So it does have function in a speedrun. It is an extremely useful mask for the casual player. To me, I really like the design. Therefore, it goes in S tier. All right. And I'm feeling for Shiro. A little bit. It's not just about visual design. This tier list is visual design, gameplay function. It's overall just how I feel about the mask as a complete package. All right, like Keaton mask doesn't have much gameplay function, but I like it so much that I may be a little bit biased. I mean, it goes high. That I could imagine that, Rudder Guy. I could imagine that. All right. Now, this is all the masks in Majora's Mask, but there is a few more things we have to settle. All right, I do have a few more things here. So I've been hiding it, but there's another tier at the bottom. The Y tier. All right, and this is where MM3D Garo Mask goes. Why? Why would you do this? Why would you change it, man? I hate it. All right, when I see the Gorman Bros chasing me in MM3D with the MM3D Garo Mask, it's just so dumb looking, dude. It's not nearly as imposing as in MM64 when they're wearing this one and they're like hooded and shrouded and like, I mean, obviously you know who they are, but it's like, to me it fits the vibe more. This just looks goofy, dude. This just looks goofy. And like, there was no need, man. There was just no need. Like, why would you base it off the Garo Master? Like, the regular Garos have the much better design. Anyway, it's just like, ugh. When I saw this in MM3D, I couldn't handle it, man. It's so ugly. So it goes below everything else. All right, and then I also put this in here. I don't know if it goes here, but this is the MM64 render of the Zora mask. Look at this. This is weird. I don't know what to do with this thing. Where does it even go? I like this design for Zora much more. To me, this is what a Zora is. This is just like who drew this? This is, I don't know, man. The MM64 artwork for the Zora mask is really off-putting to me. It doesn't look nearly as good as the MM3D one. Like, I like Zora mask, but I like this one much more than I like this one. So maybe I won't put it in Y. Maybe we'll put it in B or C, or we'll put it in C. Yeah. I don't think we can put it in B, but we'll put it in C. All right. Another one that I wanted to include, all right? In D, we're putting Majora's Mask. Pretty lame. Honestly, completely derivative of Ocarina of Time. You can't wear it. Kind of like it's the worst phase of the final boss fight. It's the least interesting. All around, kind of bad mask. Not but all right. I once again am hiding another tier. This Majora's Mask that you can wear in Breath of the Wild, there's a good Majora's Mask. That's the good Majora's Mask right there. Actually functional, you can wear it, not a bad boss fight. This is where it goes. This is the good Majora's Mask. All right, and then two more, I swear. We got two more. All right. The Mario mask. All right. Honestly, reminds me of a completely better game franchise, man. Why would you play Zelda when you can play Mario? All right, evocative of a completely better franchise. Don't know why they don't just give you this in game so you can just play Mario instead. Best mask. Very, very unfortunate that they don't give it to you in game. HMS kind of keeps it for himself because he knows how good it is. All right, that's just how it is. That's just how it is. All right. Look at that mask though. Look at the face. It's perfect. It's perfect. All right, and then one more for the top tier. All right, Link wearing the Gerudo veil. Honestly, one of the best headpieces in Breath of the Wild. Had to include it on the list. Honestly, anyone who can get that in Majora's Mask, I'd love that. It's very good. I had to include it. I had to include it. All right, even as a meme, I couldn't leave it off. I could not leave it off the list. It had to be here. To me, that is one of my favorite parts of Breath of the Wild. All right, it had to be here. Like Breath of the Wild definitely does Majora's Mask better than Majora's Mask. All right, it's just how it is. I mean, the regular Majora's Mask. Look at this thing. All right, it's not nearly as bright and colorful. All right, you can't even see part of it. I mean, the shadow's kind of good aesthetically though. It makes it creepier. All right, but you can't wear it. All right, you can never wear Majora's Mask. It's not even like a proper headpiece. I mean, you don't get to wear this one. All right, but that's just because the Happy Mask salesman is keeping it for himself. He knows how good it is. All right, he's not gonna hand it over. But yeah, this one goes in the trash. This one's by far the worst mask in either version of Majora's Mask. Hate it. All right, had to include it. All right, I had to include this version of Garo Mask. It's not good. It's very not good. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed my tier list. I'm sure I've made a lot of enemies with my my opinion on the best masks in Majora's Mask, but I think this is where I stand. Bunnyhood too hot? No. Bunnyhood's cute. Bunnyhood. But I mean, I considered putting Bunnyhood in S, but it had to stay in A. Unfortunately, it did. I'm sure I've made a lot of enemies with that list, but I hope you guys enjoyed it.